Even showed one of his men's, they showed his backpack, and it had one bullet hole going through it sideways, and proved that that came from that silent submachine gun from the guy behind him who was supposed to have killed the dog with that to start with when we weren't present. This is why I'm here, because if this gets out of control, this is going to happen here. It's happened many times throughout history. Right in this country, you don't hear about it most of the time. I'd rather die on my feet right here with the people like this, good American people, than live on my knees anymore under this de facto government that'll lie to you, steal from you, murder you, make you commit suicide. This is serious stuff. Bring it on. Yes, sir.
Randy, sort of two-part question. Do you think this situation is really the same thing as what happened at Ruby Ridge? The first part. Second part of the question is, what advice are you giving the Browns?
Real similar situation. Conviction of a non-law. There's different parts of it. I had a failure to appear deal. That was another part of the story. But these people have been convicted of a non-law. It's like he said, the judge appealed for him. Why would he do that? I say it's a trick to get him back in court where they ain't going to let him go this time. They ain't going to release him because he's failed to appear once or whatever. I don't know what it is, but they were in court. They were railroaded. You know, these judges, have you ever heard of anyone going to prison unlawfully? The prosecutor and the judge knew the guy was innocent and they stuck him there anyway? What the hell's wrong with these people? Where's their heart?
What advice, if any, have you given the Browns?
The Browns here are smart enough to figure their own thing out, and they already have. I'm not going to tell them they should do this, they shouldn't do that. I know the situation they're in now and where they're at mentally, and I support them 100%. And you know, after you get so angry, you overcome your fear, and that's where we're at here, I guess. But being an atheist, I'm praying for a miracle that some common sense will prevail. And I hope the American people can see how they have been buffaloed and stomped in the dirt. And these people that had to do this and enforce it, the IRS, you see, they'll say you have to do this. Oh, he didn't do it, so what do? They don't come out and enforce it. No, they take their U.S. Marshals, go get these guys, and these U.S. Marshals, they'll do it because they're paid pretty good money, and they don't understand that really these people are in the right, and the IRS is in the wrong. And you know what? The IRS, if they get thrown under the bus and killed like Deegan up there at Ruby Ridge, they don't care. They just replace him with another one.
What do you think it is would lead the situation to escalate to the point that you fear? Would it be impatient upon the government's part?
Of course. It's strictly self-defense from this side, honey.
Right, but from the offensive part, what do you think it is that would push them to the point that you fear?
What would push them to the point that we would fear? If
as of now, they're there.
I don't fear anything right now. I don't fear them. I'm not afraid, honey. I'm actually curious about the next life. You see, I don't pay my tithe to the church because I don't believe in Jesus either. And I ain't paying my tithe to the U.S. government because I ain't afraid of them either. We'll put it that way. You see, governments and religion go hand in hand. They always have throughout history. Religion was invented to control the masses, and they go like this to the government. You know, to a religious person, they say religion is necessary. To the non-religious atheist, I say it's useless. To the king, he says it's useful.
Mr. Weaver, have you come just out of a sense of solidarity? Because as you said, you know these people have been through, because you've been through it yourself. Do you see yourself here also as some sort of hopefully a mediator, a negotiator?
Both. You got it. You say it better than I can.
Can you talk about that? How do
Sure.
you feel mediate and negotiate?
Well, the mediation part is, I guess, mostly trying to educate people that are just taking orders. You know, the old, I'm just taking orders. That isn't going to cut it here. I don't care. You're just taking orders and want to come and cause a problem here, you're gonna have a problem. The mediation, that's it.
do you want to reach out to the federal officials in any way, or is it through
Oh,
us?
you're doing that for me. If they want to talk to me, I'm willing to talk to them right here, and I want a nice audience, and I'm not a bit scared to talk to them. We'll debate it
How long will you stay here?
till the next glacial age, if it's necessary. Maybe, I don't know. I'm kind of I don't like staying in one place too long. I may decide to leave in 10, 15, 20 years.
Mr. Weaver, you've been to a lot of different quote-unquote hot spots, as it were, for lack of a better term. You said a little while at the beginning of your speech, you talked about, you asked the question, what makes people willing to be part of their life, willing to put their life on the line? What do you think the answer to that is? You've seen a lot of you, more than probably anyone else in this crowd right now. You've seen that more than anyone else. What do you think the answer to your own question is? Why are people willing to put their life on the line in these kinds of situations?
Because you get tired of being lied to, you get tired of being stolen from, you get tired of watching your loved ones die. I was shot in the back. That wasn't no fun. I don't want that. I don't like that either. You have, yeah, freedom. One word, freedom. But you get mad after a while, get angry, and you say enough's enough. And this tax thing. Who was the original tax protesters? Founding fathers, sure. Thomas Jefferson, George Washington. And you know what? They were upset over 3%. Look at all the crap we're taking.
Mr. Weaver, what do you hope will happen here? What's the ending you're hoping for?
What am I hoping for? I'm hoping for people to become educated, the U.S. Marshals to go home and take their family, maybe get a different job, sell cars or something. I shouldn't say that because I got friends that sell cars and they're really nice people. It's easy. The miracle would be a few people. I love y'all. My job is to educate people and support people that are willing to have the courage to stand up. They put themselves in a very tight position and very scary to most Americans. But you know what? It's like I said, they got angry, they overcome their fear, and that's what it's going to take for all of us. The miracle I'm hoping for is that you'll go down to the IRS and tell them you are demanding them to show you the law. You know what it says about the filing your income tax? It says totally voluntary. And it's like I think Ed said before, or John, if you don't file, it's a misdemeanor. If you do file, they're going to hang you up to dry if they can come back and say, oh, you skipped out on $10 there, buddy. And we know it was on purpose and you're done. And they have ruined the lives of lots of innocent, nice folks if they, stole from them and they killed them and everything else. When's it going to stop?
Randy, you're in the state of New Hampshire, which has a motto, live free or die. It also has a constitution besides the United States Constitution. And that Constitution says Ed Brown is allowed to present evidence. What happens when you go into a federal court and you lose your state rights?
Good question. No, I think these people are smart enough to figure that out for themselves. I don't have to answer that. I got to shut this thing off. It keeps telling me my battery's going. It drives me nuts.
Another question. This has reached the United States Senate. On March 27th, there was a paper presented to the senators, about 30 pages long, because people have been asking their United States senators, is this a lawful tax or not? And I believe the Aaron Russo tape's now gone around the world. As this is finally getting to the United States Senate, so they're trying to answer that, and they had one of their attorneys answer all those 30 to 40 questions. Now that document's being challenged, including that attorney. How do you look at that particular document that's been presented to the United States Senate?
That's getting too legal for me. I'll leave that up to the rest of us.
Do you mind if I ask a follow-up to that question?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, more question for Ed, Mr. Weaver. Ed, do you believe it's possible to set a legal precedence in this matter so that you are cleared of all charges?
Not in the courts we have now.
Ask it again.
Do you believe it's possible in a court of law to set a legal precedence to clear you of all charges?
Sir, ladies and gentlemen, in this nation of 50 nations, there is no longer any lawful courts. Every court in this nation of 50 nations, separate countries unto themselves, are operating under a statutory law, which is now